My name is Zamira Eli Natan, and my organization's name is International Unity for Freedom and Equality. We are an international network of activists, journalists who are working to expose the atrocities committed by Islamic extremists in Islamic regimes against religious minorities.
Since the beginning of May, in the last 9 days, can you tell me about some of the more conspicuous horrors perpetrated on, was it, let's say, Hindus in Pakistan? Is that the particular area that we've been looking at the last little while?
Yes, we have a specific focus currently on Pakistan, and there have been several ongoing destructions of holy shrines, complete destruction of villages, and also desecration of grave sites.
So by shrines, do you mean whole temples, or they go into the temples and destroy the shrine, or?
Yes, they destroy the entire temple. They go into the interior and destroy the idols. They break them and leave them strewn out, which makes them completely useless to be worshipped. The areas of worship where the Hindus hold very sacred, and they're very ancient. These shrines are very ancient part of their history that have been there for thousands of years. So it's completely rendering the holy shrines useless to the community.
And this is in villages that are predominantly Hindu, is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
So what are there people in the temples at the time, or?
I don't have exact information on whether or not there are people there, but usually the attacks take place and the news gets out after the attacks have occurred. They make very certain to go into the shrines at a time when they know they're not going to meet with any opposition. But when they go into the villages and set fire to them, for example, and when they flood the grave sites, certainly there are people present.
So what happens when you say whole villages like attacked or burned? What do they do exactly? Like how, in what manner do they attack them, and what defensive capabilities do the Hindu villagers have?
Well, one of the main weaknesses is that the Hindu community is completely unarmed. So what the Muslims do is they come in and they completely surround the village, and they are armed, and then fires are set to the community. In one particular case, they are looking for the perpetrators, but clearly it's incident after incident after incident that's occurring daily. In fact, after just last night, another shrine was destroyed in a different area.
So last night, they went after another shrine, but
Yes.
probably in a Hindu area. This is in Pakistan, right?
This is in Pakistan, and our organization, International Unity for Freedom and Equality, focuses on the areas of India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan,
And so
and also Sri Lanka.
has India offered to help in any way? Like, has India offered to send, I guess Pakistan would never allow it.
Well, one of the big things, I have sent all of this information to the Human Rights Commission in India, National Human Rights Convener, so they are very much aware of what is going on. And until Narendra Modi, who is the current hope for the new leadership in India, comes to power, there's not much that's going to be done by India because the current government is Congress, and they are a Muslim-supporting government that is currently present in India.
How lucky for them. So, has there been any clear motive for these attacks? I mean, it sounds pretty obviously like it's ethnic cleansing, but has there been any statements given by attackers or messages left behind or anything?
Well, one of the main motives is the Muslims claim that during the celebration of Holi, which is the festival of colors, it's a very popular festival in the Hindu religion. During that time, there was apparently an accusation that spread rampantly like wildfire that someone had written the name of Allah in the colors. Because if you know that on Holi, the Hindus toss out beautiful colors, all different colors, and they accused the Hindu community of writing the name of Allah in those colors, when actually the truth of the matter is that they were writing the name of Ashok, which is a Hindu hero. And against the Muslims are claiming that it is hurting their sentiments, but as a result, they have actually gone beyond what is acceptable. Rather than investigate the matter and find out the facts, they have attacked entire communities and destroyed villages and desecrated grave sites. There is no acceptability for this. It's absolutely unacceptable to go to that extreme.
How many people would live in the villages that were attacked?
Well, we're talking about a rural area. It's a desert area. So it would be similar to if you see the area in Las Vegas, Nevada, driving from California to Las Vegas, Nevada, and they have a disbursement of village huts. Okay, they're built, they have families that are living within these huts. And there are hundreds of people depending on how large each village is, of the population, hundreds to thousands of people that are living in these areas.
Like, what's left of the village when they're done?
The village is completely, if you look at the photographs from my blog, you can see that the villages have homes that have been completely burned to where they are without a roof. The charred remains of the home on the outside and the interior, all of the whatever remains inside that they have is reduced to ashes. So basically, the villagers are left to the open sky. They have no manner of defense not only from armed assailants, they don't have any manner of defense from the harshness of the weather that is in Pakistan. Wow. And currently it's a very, very hot season right now. There is no rain right now. Okay, the list of attacks last 9 days primarily have been the destruction of several shrines, the torching of several villages in Nagarparkar, Pakistan, the flooding of Hindu grave sites.
My God. So, and each village, you say, could be several hundred people?
Several hundreds to several thousands.
More, yeah. And there's no recourse to law that these villagers might have, either in Pakistan or even possibly in India.
No, and one of the biggest deterrents to that is many of these villagers are illiterate. They have no means to understand their justice system. So Advocate Virji Kohli is one of the only ones that is educated, where he, as an attorney and also a social activist and the convener of the Human Rights Commission of Pakistan representing minorities, he is their only recourse for the most case.
And it sure does make a strong case for a Second Amendment, don't you think?
Yeah, yes, and the reason this is so important, Vlad, and I really have to say this, is that the international community has ignored Israel's right to exist. They have also not recognized that Muslims throughout time have ethnically cleansed Jewish people from their land, and now this is being perpetrated against the Christian communities and the Hindu communities in extreme masses. And it's at a point when you have all of these communities that are non-Muslim being attacked, you have to realize that ignoring such issues is very, very, very serious. And we have to address it. We have to find a way to bring this to public attention and make a change.
So has the Obama administration said anything about these sorts of ongoing attacks against the Hindus in Pakistan or against the Christians in India or Pakistan?
Quite honestly, I do not even think the Obama administration takes any notice or has any concern as to these events and these incidents as to what is going on. I think that the Obama administration has participated more in supporting terrorism than combating it.
Well, they did make Obama himself made a strong statement just the other day, condemning pressure put on the Islamic community in Burma. So he certainly does notice that, and he did say the future will not belong to those who criticize Islam. So that does give one pause for thought. Um,
It is a grave concern for me because of the fact that uh, a United States president making certain statements such as that, it's not really something that the United States of America is really used to. And I'm very concerned about it.
you've given us a good account of what's taken place um, over the last 9 days or so in Pakistan, but in the other areas that you watch, what other things, even let's say, what's the trend been for say the last 12 months over the last year? What would you say? Has there been an uptick, and based on what, and in what areas?
Well, if we go to India, we can say that there has been an onslaught of also temple destruction, also rape of women. This occurs in Pakistan as well. There is what in India is a focus for many is what they call love jihad. And basically, the Muslims that live in certain regions in India are targeting non-Muslim women, and they're raping them and forcing them to convert to Islam. So we have forced conversion issues, in addition to the destruction of the holy shrines and the looting of shops and villages in India. Other areas I've watched with this organization is Sri Lanka, where we have the Buddhist communities that are basically have had monks killed while worshiping, while praying in their shrines, when they politely asked the Muslim community to not build a mosque next to their holy shrines in Sri Lanka. And what was met in response was the shooting of monks while they're praying, and also infiltration of Muslims pretending to be Buddhist monks. So these are some of the other areas which International Unity for Freedom and Equality has watched over. Also in Bangladesh, Advocate Rabinder Ghosh, his cases, more than 3,000 cases that he has worked on. You can see some highlights in my blog of all of those cases listed under Bangladesh Minority Watch. It's a post there, which is a report, his report that is given.